In this video, we examine the hidden costs. Jamaica is known worldwide for its beaches, culture, and hospitality, but is tourism really lifting local communities? Is over-reliance on tourism holding Jamaica back from sustainable, diversified growth? Let's break down the facts and ask the hard questions. While it's easy to get swept away by the picturesque resorts and booming travel industry, there's a reality that needs to be addressed. The tourism industry is often praised for its ability to create jobs, and sure, on the surface, it seems like a win-win. The Jamaica Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett proudly highlights the influx of employment opportunities, but the reality on the ground is far more complex. Most of these jobs are in low-paying, all-inclusive positions, roles that, while essential, do little to elevate the local workforce. As for the tourism capital Montego Bay, and for Ocho Rios as well, remember, the status of being a tourism capital should not come at the expense of the local community's well-being. It's time to strive for a future where everyone can benefit from the beauty and prosperity of our homeland. Relying solely on tourism as the economic backbone of a region is risky. While it can generate revenue, it shouldn't impede the diversification and growth of other sectors. It's vital to invest in education, infrastructure, and other industries to build a more balanced and resilient economy. Sustainable development demands diversification. Tourism should complement, not control, the broader economic future of Jamaica. Critics argue that this dependency is a calculated byproduct of collusion between corrupt officials and foreign interests. By suppressing wage growth, these actors facilitate a system of labor arbitrage that benefits transnational corporations and a narrow stratum of local elites. The predatory alliance, the alliance between transnational capital, seeking maximum profit, minimal regulation, and local elites, seeking personal wealth and maintaining political power, is the engine. Local elites provide political stability, lax regulations, tax breaks, and labor control. Race to the bottom. This is the deliberate consequence. Countries and regions are pitted against each other to offer the cheapest labor, the weakest environmental standards, and the largest subsidies to attract or retain foreign capital. The winner is the one most exploited. Rewarding extractive capital, the system is optimized for extraction of resources, value, labor, rather than generative domestic development, like broad-based education, diversified industries, strong local supply chains. Value is siphoned out to corporate headquarters and offshore accounts. Local elites, landowners, comprador bourgeoisie, benefit from this arrangement as junior partners, aligning their interests with foreign capital rather than their own domestic workforce. IMF-led debt restructuring has functioned as a straitjacket for the Jamaican economy. By demanding fiscal austerity and deregulation, these institutions strip the state of its power to protect workers or invest in long-term growth. This creates a cycle of stagnation. As wages are suppressed to meet loan conditions, the country is forced to lean even harder on a precarious, low-wage tourism sector. This one-trick pony model isn't an accident. It is the direct result of a policy framework that values international debt repayment over domestic economic sovereignty. Neo-dependency. The dependency is indeed strategically preserved because it is highly profitable for the powerful alliance that sustains it. The intentional stagnation of wages is not a bug but a feature of this system. The central conflict remains between the logic of extractive global capital and the need for generative, inclusive national development. This analysis moves beyond seeing poverty as a failure of effort or culture, and frames it as a political and economic architecture designed to benefit the few, a critical perspective for understanding persistent global inequality. The new plantation. Tourism as an extractive industry. While not extracting minerals, mass-market tourism extracts scenic beauty, climate, and culture and packages it for foreign consumption. The economic model often mirrors the old plantation. Foreign capital ownership and control. Major resorts, airlines, and cruise lines are often transnational corporations, TNCs, headquartered in North America or Europe. Profits are largely repatriated. High import leakage to service tourist demand. A significant portion of food, beverages, furnishings, and even management expertise is imported. This bleeds foreign exchange earnings back out to the core economies, replicating the dependency trade deficit. Local elite alliance. The political and business elite often benefits through land sales, lucrative contracts, political donations, and partnerships. Their interest aligns with maintaining the tourism-dominated status quo. Less priority for other sectors, the monoculture trap. Is the crux of strategic underdevelopment. The tourism model actively crowds out and deters the diversification of the economy. Resource allocation, prime coastal land, infrastructure investment, government incentives, and political attention are all funneled into tourism. Agricultural land is converted to resorts, diverting resources from food security. Brain drain and skill distortion. The education system and job market become skewed toward low and mid-level service skills. Bright minds either migrate, brain drain, to former colonial centers, or are absorbed into the hospitality sector, rather than becoming engineers, manufacturers, or tech entrepreneurs. Dutch disease effect. Influx of foreign currency from tourism can inflate local costs and exchange rates, making it even harder for other export sectors, like agriculture or light manufacturing, to compete internationally. The economy becomes hyper-specialized and vulnerable. The vicious cycle of vulnerability. This dependency creates profound fragility. Climate vulnerability. Economies bet everything on an industry acutely threatened by climate change, beach erosion, hurricanes, coral bleaching, demand shocks, a recession in source countries, US, Europe, or a pandemic, as seen with COVID-19, causes immediate, catastrophic economic collapse, with no other sectors to buffer the shock. Cultural and social erosion. The need to cater to tourist expectations can commodify culture and create social stratification between the serviced and the served. Conclusion. A modern enclave economy. The Caribbean tourism model is a 21st century enclave economy. It is structurally designed to generate wealth that is extracted by foreign capital, provide rents and privileges to a local elite that manages the political stability for this extraction, maintain a large, low-wage domestic workforce with limited alternatives, actively discourage the development of a diversified, resilient, and sovereign economy. The Caribbean does not just experience dependency. It is a textbook case of how dependency is strategically reproduced in the post-colonial era, moving from fields of sugarcane to fields of beach chairs, but often retaining similar power structures and patterns of wealth extraction. Breaking this cycle requires a deliberate, politically challenging project of economic diversification that directly confronts the interests of the entrenched predatory alliance you identified. Jamaica, a deliberate shift to monoculture, with the finding that other sectors were closed down or given less priority, is not a passive outcome but a historical process with clear decision points. The erosion of agriculture and manufacturing. Agriculture. Under IMF, World Bank Structural Adjustment Programs, SAPs, from the 1970s, 80s onward, Jamaica was pressured to liberalize its economy. This meant removing protections and subsidies for local farmers, who were then undercut by cheap, often subsidized, food imports from the US and elsewhere. The iconic sugar industry collapsed, and food import dependency soared. This was a policy choice favoring cheap inputs for the tourism sector, to feed tourists and urban consumers over domestic food sovereignty and rural employment. Manufacturing, light manufacturing, which had developed under import substitution policies, faced similar pressure. Trade liberalization made it difficult for local industries to compete. The export-oriented garment assembly, 807-807A schemes, that followed provided low-wage jobs but was itself a race to the bottom. The strategic priority of tourism, with other sectors deliberately dismantled or left uncompetitive, tourism emerged not just as a dominant sector, but often as the only sector with state support and foreign investment. By making approximately 50% of GDP reliant on it, Jamaica achieved a form of lock-in. The economy cannot afford for tourism to fail, which gives immense political power to the tourism lobby, the predatory alliance of foreign investors and local hoteliers, developers, and allied politicians. This creates a policy straitjacket. Any proposed regulation, wage increase, or environmental protection that might marginally increase costs for the industry is met with the existential threat. You will kill the golden goose. There is no alternative. Sector with little value retention and high vulnerability to global shifts, it largely moved to Asia. This was not a transition to a higher value sector, but to a more exploitable one. Intentional de-diversification, through SAPs and liberalization, the state, under domestic elite influence and foreign pressure, dismantled alternative sectors, agriculture, manufacturing, creating a labor force with no alternative but tourism and low-wage services. Creation of a captive workforce. This lack of alternatives enables the predatory alliance to enforce a race to the bottom in wages within the tourism sector itself, as workers cannot credibly threaten to move to other industries. Strategic preservation of the model. Any move toward diversification, e.g., reviving agriculture for food security, investing in tech or creative industries, faces fierce resistance. It would threaten the supply of cheap labor to tourism, raise wage expectations, and challenge the political economic dominance of the existing alliance. Conclusion: Jamaica is not simply dependent on tourism. It is strategically locked into a low-wage, high-vulnerability variant of it by a series of historical policy choices that served the interests of transnational capital and a comprador elite. This was achieved by actively closing down other pathways for development, making the workforce dependent on the very sector designed to exploit it. The comparison with smaller islands shows this was not fate, but a political selection of a specific, exploitative economic model. Thanks for watching. Be part of the discussion by liking, sharing, commenting. Subscribe, follow, share.